Okay. All
hmm
right. Are we chapter 17?
Chapter 17.
Yeah. Oh, it's a pretty short chapter. Ow.
Holy moly, there's so much dialogue.
All right. All right.
It's about time.
Who's even saying it though? There's no. What?
It's okay. We will
Oh
we'll
man.
figure it out.
All right.
All right, Kaylee, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Chapter 17. A week later, Dorian Gray was sitting in the conservatory at Selby Royal, talking to the pretty Duchess of Monmouth, who, with her husband, a jaded-looking man of 60, was amongst his guests. It was tea time, and the mellow light of the huge lace-covered lamp that stood on the table lit up delicate china and hammered silver of the service at which the Duchess was presiding. Her white hands were moving daintily among the cups, and her full red lips were smiling at something that Dorian had whispered to her. Lord Henry was lying back in a silk-draped wicker chair, looking at them. On a peach-colored divan sat Lady Noverell, pretending to listen to the Duke's description of the last Brazilian beetle that he had added to his collection. Three young men in elaborate smoking suits were handing tea cakes to some of the women. The house party consisted of 12 people, and there were more expected to arrive on the next day. "What are you two talking about?" said Lord Henry, strolling over to the table and putting his cup down. "I hope Dorian has told you about my plan for rechristening everything, Gladys. It is a delightful idea."
I guess I'll be Gladys. Okay. But I don't want to be rechristened, Harry.
Rejoined the Duchess, looking up at him with her wonderful eyes.
I'm quite satisfied with my own name, and I'm sure Mr. Gray should be satisfied with his.
"My dear Gladys, I would not alter either name of the world. They are both perfect. I was thinking chiefly of flowers. Yesterday I cut an orchid for my
Yeah. I knew exactly what you were gonna say. I was waiting for it. I saw that. I saw the word.
I was like, nope, I'm not messing this one up.
I'm glad you caught yourself, but it would have been so funny if you said it.
I know.
I wish you said it.
Oh man.
Okay. Yesterday I cut an orchid for my buttonhole. It was a marvelous spotted thing, as effective as the seven deadly sins. In a thoughtless moment, I asked one of the gardeners what it was called. He told me it was a fine specimen of Robinsoniana. Robinsoniana? Robinsoniana?
Mhm.
Or something dreadful of that kind. It is a sad truth, but we have lost the faculty of giving lovely names to things. Names are everything. I never quarrel with accusations. One quarrel is with words. That is the reason I hate vulgar realism in the literature. The man who called a spade should be compelled to use one. It is the only thing he is fit for.
Then what should we call you, Harry?
She asked.
His name is Prince Paradox.
"I recognize him in a flash," exclaimed the Duchess.
Did you read the said Dorian? I don't
Oh
think you
God.
did.
I said I did not.
That's why I was waiting for you.
I was so confident.
You were, and I was like, oh, did she decide to read the Duchess?
Said Dorian.
Uh, I recognize him in a flash.
Exclaimed the Duchess. I won't hear of it, laughed Lord Henry, sinking into a chair. From a label there is no escape. I refuse the title.
Royalties may not abdicate.
Fell as a warning from pretty lips. You wish me to defend my throne, then?
Yes,
I give the truths of tomorrow.
I prefer the mistakes of today.
You disarm me, Gladys. Oh, sorry. She answered. I did it again. Oh, these astigmatismas. You disarm me, Gladys, he cried, watching what's going on.
What are you trying to say?
I don't even know anymore. He cried, catching the willfulness of her mood.
Of your shield, Harry, not of your spear.
I never tilt against a beauty, he said, with a wave of his hand.
That is your error, Harry. Believe me. You value beauty far too much.
How can you say that? I admit that I think that it is better to be beautiful than to be good. On the other hand, no one is more ready than I am to acknowledge that it is better to be good than to be ugly.
Ugliness is one of the seven deadly sins, then.
Cried the Duchess.
What becomes of your smile about the orchid? Or simile, right? Simile about the orchid.
Ugliness is one of the 7 deadly virtues.
Why do you keep getting more southern? You
I
keep going
don't
more
know.
country the more you read.
I don't know. I'm going with it though.
You surely are.
Should I just go with it?
I didn't think English people could sound American.
I was trying to sound British and then it started to get into a drawl.
Turn to slip. You know, the first 2 big paragraphs that had happened with Lord Henry, I was like, does she kind of sound Southern? I'm like, oh no, whatever. It was this one when you said ugliness. Oh,
Oh, I think it's the words ugliness.
I think it is. It's the you. The ugh. Okay, continue, Southern Harry.
Ugliness is one of the 7 deadly virtues, Gladys. You, as a good Tory, might not underrate them, beer the Bible. And the 7 deadly virtues have made our England what she is.
Yes, Harry, of course. You mean our America. I'm sorry. You don't you don't like your country then?
She asked. I live in it. I'm just gonna go with it.
I mean, it adds character. Okay. That you may censure it the better.
Would you have me take the verdict of Europe on it? He inquired.
What do they say of us?
That Tar Tough has immigrated to England and opened up a shop.
Is that yours, Harry?
I give it to you.
I cannot use it. It is too true.
You need not be afraid. Our countrymen never recognize the description.
They are practical.
They are more cunning than practical. When they make up their ledger, they balance stupidity by wealth and vice by hypocrisy. No. Hypocrisy.
You know, a southern back in the day, back in the day, with all them cowboys, they probably pronounce it like
Yeah.
that too. Damn hypocrisy,
Hypocrisy.
hypocrisy. Gosh darn hypocrisy.
Them hippos.
Them hippos. What a hypocrite. Oh man,
Those hippo be crying.
not the hypocrites. uh,
They balance stupidity by wealth and vice by hypocrisy. Thank goodness I said it right then.
or hypocrisy. Either one.
Hypocrisy.
Hippo. No,
Did I say hippo
you
again?
did. You did.
Yeah.
You did.
Hypocrisy?
Hypocrisy. Yeah.
Gosh, in my own brain, I swore I said
It's.
hypocrisy.
I think it was the accent.
Oh,
Your
okay.
voice was too lost in the sauce that it just came out.
Oh, they do like them hippos, I think.
Yeah, because all them cowboys like them hippos.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Still, we have done great things.
Great things have been thrust on us, Gladys.
We have carried their burden.
Only as far as the stock exchange. She shook her head.
I believe in the race.
She cried. It represents the survival of the pushes.
It has development.
Decay fascinates me more,
What of art?
he asked. It is a malady,
Love?
an illusion.
Religion?
The fashionable substitute for belief.
You are a skeptic.
Never. Skepticism is the beginning of faith.
What are you?
To define is to limit.
Give me a clue.
Thread snap, you would lose your way in the labyrinth.
You bewilder me. Let us talk of someone else.
Our host is a delightful topic. Years ago, he was christened Prince Charming.
Ah, don't remind me of that.
Cried Dorian Gray.
Oh, this is the Duchess. Our host is rather horrid this evening.
Answered the Duchess.
There's one more word.
Oh, answered the Duchess, coloring.
I believe he thinks that Monmouth married me on purely scientific principles as the best specimen he could find of a modern butterfly. Well, I hope he won't stick pins into you, Duchess.
Laughed Dorian.
Oh, my maid does that already, Mr. Gray, when she is annoyed with me. And what does she get annoyed with you about, Duchess? For the most trivial things, Mr. Gray, I assure you. Usually because I come in at 10 minutes to 9 and tell her that I must dress by 8:30. How unreasonable of her. You should give her a warning. I daren't, Mr. Gray. Why, she invents hats for me. You remember the one I wore at Lady Hillstone's garden party? You don't, but it is nice of you to pretend that you do. Well, she made it out of nothing. All good hats are made out of nothing.
Like all good reputations, Gladys, interrupted Lord Henry. Every effect that one produces gives one an enemy. To be popular, one must be a mediocrity.
Not with women.
Said the Duchess, shaking her head.
And women rule the world. I assure you, we can't bear mediocrities. We women, as someone says, love with our ears, just as you men love with your eyes, if you ever love at all. It seems
Amen.
to me... Another good quote by another lady. Wow. Wow. Highlight that one. Wait, can I highlight this? I can. Sure. Okay. It seems to me that we never do anything else.
Murmured Dorian.
Ah, then you never really love Mr. Grey.
Answered the Duchess with mock sadness. My dear Gladys, cried Lord Henry. How can you say that? Romance lives by repetition, and repetition converts an appetite into an art. Besides, each time that one loves is the only time one has ever loved. Difference of object does not alter singleness of passion. It merely intensifies it. We can have in life but one great experience at best, and the secret of life is to reproduce that experience as often as possible.
Even when one has been wounded by it, Harry.
Asked the Duchess after a pause. Especially when one has been wounded by it, answered Lord Henry. The Duchess turned and looked at Dorian Gray with a curious expression in her eyes.
What do you say to that, Mr. Grey?
She inquired. Dorian hesitated for a moment, then he threw his head back and laughed.
I always agree with Harry, Duchess. Even when he is wrong. Harry is never wrong, Duchess. And does his philosophy make you happy? I have never searched for happiness. Who wants happiness? I have searched for pleasure. And found it, Mr. Grey? Often. Too often.
The Duchess sighed.
I am searching for peace,
She said.
and if I don't go and dress, I shall have none this evening. Let me get you some orchids, Duchess.
Cried Dorian, starting to his feet and walking down the conservatory. You are flirting disgracefully with him, said Lord Henry to his cousin. You had better take care. He is very fascinating.
If he were not, there would be no battle.
Greek meets Greek, then.
I am on the side of the Trojans. They fought for a woman.
They were defeated,
There are worse things than capture.
she answered. You gallop with a loose rein.
Peace gives life.
Was the riposte. I shall write it in my diary tonight.
What?
That a burnt child loves the fire.
I'm not even singed. My wings are untouched.
You use them for everything except flight.
Courage has passed from men to women. It is a new experience for us.
You have a rival?
Who?
He laughed. Lady Narborough, he whispered. She perfectly adores him.
You fill me with apprehension. The appeal to antiquity is fatal to us all, or to us who are romantics.
Romanticist. You have all the methods of science,
Men have educated us.
but not explained you.
Describe us as a sex.
Was her challenge. Sphinxes without secret. She looked at him, smiling.
How long Mr. Grey is.
She said,
Let us go and help him. I've not yet told him the color of my frock.
Ah, you must suit your frock to his flowers, Gladys.
Wow, that was I don't know why that line is just very funny to me. That would be a premature surrender.
Romantic art begins with its climate.
I must keep an opportunity for retreat.
In the Parthian
Mhm.
in the Parthian manner.
They found safety in the desert. I could not do that.
Women are not always allowed a choice, he answered, but hardly had he finished the sentence before, from the far end of the conservatory, came a stifled groan, followed by the dull sound of a heavy fall. Everybody started up. The Duchess stood motionless in horror, and with fear in his eyes, Lord Henry rushed through the flapping palms to find Dorian Gray lying face downwards on the tiled floor in a death-like swoon. He was carried at once into the blue drawing room and laid upon one of the sofas. After a short time, he came to himself and looked round with a dazed expression.
What has happened?
He asked.
Oh, I remember. Am I safe here, Harry?
He began to tremble. My dear Dorian, answered Lord Henry, you merely fainted. That was all. You must have overtired yourself. You had better not come down to dinner. I will take your place,
No, I will come down.
he said, struggling to his feet.
I would rather come down. I must not be alone.
He went to his room and dressed. There was a wild recklessness, gaiety in his manner, as he sat at the table. But now and then a thrill of terror ran through him, when he remembered that, pressed against the window of the conservatory, like a white handkerchief, he had seen the face of James Vane. Oh,
Mmm. What a quick chapter.
this one was an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
Liked it.
Seems like Henry's cousin is wanting to pregame Dorian.
He has found his way to Dorian Gray, it appears.
Hmm. Now, is that really James Vane, or is that just Dorian going a little crazy?
Hmm, I think it could be James Vane.
Could be.
Because that lady in the past chapter knew who he was,
Right,
and she
right.
wasn't always there. It sounds like she could have been a noble woman at one point.
True. Mm.
I'm curious
Yeah.
of Dorian Gray's demise.
Yes. I mean, we're almost done, so surely
Yeah.
his demise is soon.
Mhm. I wonder if. I wonder. I wonder.
What do you wonder?
How he'll die.
Oh.
He how he'll die and what'll happen to his painting.
True.
It's very interesting because a lot of people have shunned him, but this crowd seems to not be bothered by Dorian Gray's what is that
Mm.
reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only time will tell. And we have
Any
mm,
theories?
I'm just here for the ride.
Yeah, because you heard it before, right? So you kind of
Yeah.
know. What are your theories, Kelsey?
I just want him to die.
True. He's a
Oh, and
menace.
what if the painting goes back to normal?
After he dies?
Oh,
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
hmm, very interesting. Oh, it'd definitely make it eerie. Um, because like it would be what is that? The only person that would know, or I guess nobody would know about
Yeah.
the what is that phenomena of the
Yeah.
painting.
Yeah.
Because what's his face is dead. He found
Yeah.
out about it. He died.
Yeah.
That sucks. He did.
DED. Dead.
He died.
Yep. They gone. Ain't no hippo in him.
Ain't no hip.
Ain't no hip. Yes, all very good questions that may or may not be answered. Gasp.
Oh,
Ooh. Ooh.
No.
I mean, ooh. Ooh.
That's better.
Ooh. And ah. Okay, well, that was a good quick session.
That was